live. Figured let me put this on Twitter. I guess I should get some sort of posting system like Posty Bear, but whatever. Just trying out streaming when it's not Snake Pit. Figured people might like that. All right. I'll have to come up with a Just When Bones streaming picture, I guess. Oh, well. More assets to make. Oh, it's always a good time. Okay. Should be decent volume on there. Let's get our supplies out. So, we want pencils, both sides. Eraser. I like this one. Let's get that little claw shape and then ruler. Most importantly, X-Acto and new X-Acto blades if that one starts to go dull. I don't know why there's a shotgun shell in there, but there is. Been a bit since I've done this, but let's see what knowledge I retain. Let's have our new nibs up for. Well, let's just replace that now. Let me do a quick sound check, actually, make sure I'm being heard okay. How do I look at... Oh, it's covered up, thank you. Okay, I'm here. Let me do a quick sound check, actually, make sure I'm being heard okay. That's pretty low. How do I look at the... Test audio. Test, test, test. Test, test, test. Well, that seems alright, I think. Let's hear it loop back through, and then I'll be okay with it or not. I was whispering a little. Let's just talk, talk, talk. Test, test. Well, that seems alright, I think. Yeah, loop back through, and then I'll be okay with it or not. Sounds fine to me. Alrighty, let's replace that eraser head. And then we'll talk about screen tones for a bit. I just need a new headset at this point. Ugh, I feel like I've replaced these things 1,000 times. How is it warm in here? It was snowing today. Alright. So, we'll be doing screen tones on this guy. I'd like to get a setup that's a little farther away so you can see a bit more of what I'm working on, but we work with what we got. So this is Shannon's piece. This is a commission I was working on Saturday. Chiptune Brony says, hello, Bonitis Uno. I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Glad to be here. These are all the screen tones we'll be working with. These are Deleter. It's a pretty standard brand if you do it this way. This is their SE 31 through 31, 33, and 35. So as you can see, one's light, one's kind of dark, and then one's much darker. And Deleter makes a ton of these. These are just 3 pretty basic ones that I like to use. As you can see, some of them have shapes already cut out of them because I've used them previously. Oh, and I've got an SE30 for really light parts. I forgot I had that. Oh, they're all taped. They got taped to each other. Oh my god, I was being such a silly Billy. I'm sorry. Let's get all of these. Zip, zip. In the future, I'll try and find a way to maybe play some background music. I figure people will like that. I know, I have to find, like, you know, stuff that I can use that doesn't get caught, so... How do screen tones work? Well, it depends on what you're asking about how they work specifically. I'm going to show you guys how you put them on, but if you look closely, I mean, I'm sure you guys have seen them before, and especially in mangas, they're just dot patterns, and depending on how large and how close together the dots are, the Bejeweled effect takes effect, and makes things look darker. It was a way they could shade things in black and white print. And it just sort of stuck as a look, because if you get good at it, it can look really, really good. And in particular, traditional stuff I think looks really cool with screen tone on it, especially once you see how it works. Now what I'm going to do was when Shannon sent me the references for this guy, his suit jacket was noticeably darker than his undershirt. So what I want to do is use my darker screen tone, which I haven't used yet. And we're going to put it on this guy. I don't think I'll need my trace board, but we'll see. I even got little instructions on the back with these in Japanese and English now because these are popular. But that explains a bit on how it works. We'll just basically you just need one of these, anything to flatten it. I like this because that's what it's for. Pencil, X-Acto knife. You want it sharp. You heard my accent. I'm sorry. I'm doing Dr. Killinger from Venture Brothers. Me and AJ have been watching. But yeah, first thing you do is you actually cut it slightly larger than what you want it to look like, then you'll go in and refine it. Press it lightly, then yeah. I'm just actually reading what the directions say because it's been a while since I've done this. Okay. Yeah, you actually keep the backing on there for a while. So what we're going to do is we're going to do this section on the left side of her jacket first. Now luckily you guys can even see through this, so I won't need a screen. What you're also going to want is some tape, because you're going to have to tape it on there so it doesn't move around. I like to use Tamiya model tape. Tamiya masking tape, because it's what I use on models to keep stuff in place. So let's... And so we can get the most use out of our screen tone, we're going to want to get it nice and lined up. Alright. Because these sheets are kind of pricey. There's a reason people do this digitally. It's much more cost and time effective, but I'm in the business of selling traditional artwork, so I want stuff to look good as a finished physical piece, so it's worth doing it this way. I'd join The Voice if my voice wasn't fucked. Oh, that's too bad. I'd love to hear from you, buddy. Maybe another time then. Other Snake Pit people can join if they want. Stop Ming. Training time. Yeah, I see you in there, buddy. So we'll just quickly do the corners. It's easy enough. And this stuff, since it's model tape, it won't take it off because it's not going to take paint off your models. It's not going to take ink off a page. And if it's ink, you know, it's all black and white, so I can just back in. Okay, so using exact. So we're going to do her, her being who commissioned it, Lady Commissioner, but man character. He's a little effeminate, but that's okay. And luckily with the big thick black lines is you can just kind of get in that area and have it overlap, because once you scan it, it all scans together, because gray on black is just black. So what you do is first you cut it out like it said, slightly larger, and then we'll go back in and fix it up and make it look nice. And if your blade's sharp enough, this really, you don't have to press that hard. This stuff is, it's 2 layers, and they're fairly thin, but thick enough that you really shouldn't, you're not going to cut, as long as you don't cut too hard, you're not going to cut through your own page. If you're making big dents into your own page, you're doing it way too hard. But this stuff, if you do this, you can sell the piece at market, traditional piece, if you know, for a lot more, because people are like, oh, that's real screen tone. You can't just like, you didn't just do that in Manga Studio, which is how it's done these days, which I understand. It's much, much quicker. But I can spot those Manga Studio brushes from a mile away at this point, so they do nothing for me. No, we're gonna, well, the pants are the same color as the suit coat. We'll do the pants as well, but then the other half of the suit jacket we'll do. Putting an all-nighter to get a job done. Oh, yeah, you're doing your animation stuff. Yeah, Crayon had to teach himself 2D animation, like, over the fucking weekend. You know, stuff they ask artists to do. Let's see. Just want to make sure. Oh, yeah, and sometimes you'll do a double cut, and then something like that will happen. But that's okay, because it's up in a spot black, so we're not really worried about that. Sorry if I ever get quiet. I'll try to keep it lively. You know, nobody wants dead air. That's the worst. Better to listen to a strange man babble in his house. Sometimes you can lose track of where you were, because your cut will blend right into the screen tone. So this takes a bit of getting used to. I'll be the first to admit. Right to the edge we can do it, since we're doing the pants as well. What you can also do is you can trace your blade over the paper if you can't see your cut, and it'll just naturally find the groove you've already made. And I'll probably have to do this tutorial more than once, just because people are going to want to know what this... People don't even realize you can buy this shit. You got to, like, special order it from Japan, but... And it's worth it if you're into this kind of thing. And plus, it looks really, really neat when it's done. It can make your traditional stuff look really, really crisp, and that's a good feeling. So now what we do is we're gonna try and separate. Now there's gonna probably be some areas where I haven't quite cut all the way through, and that might get a little tricky. Okay, let's see if we can get this off. There we go. It's also, you want to do it a little bigger so you have room for things to mess up at this stage. Is it a little more wasteful? Sure, but you're going to save yourself a lot of headache. That's the reason it's worth more, and that's the reason they don't do it this way in the manga industry currently. Well, you'll see them sometimes do it for covers, because they want to resell, because those cover illustrations tend to get resold. Also, if you have cuts like this, like where it is at the shoulder right here, it can end up kind of slicing itself, so be very careful during the removal process. They advise using tweezers. You don't really need tweezers, but there's a reason they advise it. This is delicate work. So if you don't have dexterous hands, start practicing, because neither do I. I am not particularly... Dog hair. Yeah, you don't want to press it on top of a piece of dog hair either. That's embarrassing. And it will not stick until you press it, so don't worry too much there. We're going to need some extra. Actually, we'll have to cut up. I didn't quite factor in the legs properly, so we'll have to cut that out later. And then do the legs on their own. See, you can make a lot of mistakes doing this. It's very forgiving until it's not. This is a big piece. Usually you're going to be working in smaller pieces. I'm also working on an 11 by 17 piece of paper. So that's also going to be tricky, but usually you'll be working something smaller than this. Perfect. See, okay, there we go. Alright, one little bit didn't quite get covered, so we're going to go in with the pen. There we go. So you press it lightly at this point. Now you go in, and you can potentially get some divots in your drawing here if you're not careful, so be careful. Now we want to get it close to the edges, because we're professionals, damn it. But look how easily that cuts. Nope, didn't quite come off. Maybe it doesn't cut so easily. You want to use just the right touch. I really enjoy this part of the work. I find it relaxing, so... I've never done it live, though, so apologies if I seem a little silly. Boy, that is not... I thought I just replaced this blade. Oh, there, you can hear it. That's right. You can kind of hear the da-da-da-da-da as your knife cuts through the dots, so you'll know you're getting it. And if you have a divot you don't like, you can go back in with your pen and correct it. We definitely don't... What we're really looking for... Dots in the spot black, not so bad. What we're really looking for is this stuff that's out in the white. You don't want that. That just looks unprofessional. Now, you'll see some artists will purposely go outside the lines for like a really rough look. Or for certain types of effects. If you look at how Paru Itagaki does Beastars, she goes outside her lines all the time, but it's so consistently done that you recognize it as, oh, that is part of the style, not a mistake. Beastars has that rough, loose line work style that I quite like. If you want more If you want like really, really rigid, clean, you can even layer up screen tones. You'll see that on a lot of professional manga. The one where I first started really noticing it was Hellsing, actually. The later chapters, Mr. Hirano and his crew really do that up. But this can take a black and white drawing and really up the way it looks. And like I said, you can sell it for more. There we go. Look at that. Oh, beautiful. You put your knife under there, lift, and peel off. And it's going to really look nice when it scans. It'll look a little strange if it's not zoomed in properly. I don't know if you guys have ever seen like an improperly zoomed in screen tone, but it looks kind of strange because it goes like beyond what your computer's resolution can typically do, unless you're rocking like a really powerful monitor. But it'll make all sorts of weird patterns trying to like be like, oh, I'm trying to get all the dots in there, but I can't because it's more dots than you have pixels on the screen. All right, let me take a look at these. Pulling all-nighter. I'd recommend perhaps making a YouTube video on it. I probably will at some point. I want to get a better camera. We're going to do like time lapses and all sorts of stuff, but one thing at a time. Itagaki has been a great teacher. Yeah, she's awesome. Her and her dad. I like them both for very different reasons. I'm glad that a manga family dynasty is so different. It's kind of satisfying. There we go. Ooh, look at that. Oh, beautiful. Now and yeah, if you like stuff that's kind of zen, getting to use screen tones can kind of be that. It is for me, at least. Right along the lines. One way I practice my dexterity and like the fine hand stuff is I paint miniatures in my spare time, build models. That'll help you keep your wrist and fingers and hands good at this stuff. Or if you're some kind of heart surgeon. But then you probably got more important work to do than this crap, so I don't know. Yep, and I'm not cutting through that's another reason you use Bristol board, is it's nice and thick, and you won't accidentally cut through it. If you do this on like watercolor paper, it's going to kick up cotton fibers and all this other shit. It's not worth it. See, I made a mistake here. I went to the edge of the page, I didn't even think about it, so we're just going to have to cut that right out. Maybe we can reuse that scrap somewhere. If you're a very well-supplied manga artist, you won't have to, but I'm not that, so you gotta make the most of your screen tones. Comic art supplies are pricey. That'll lift right off. And there we go. So that's what you do right there. So once you've got it like that, I could technically go in and do the spot blacks, but it's really not worth it. Most people aren't going to notice anyway. Okay, yeah, and this is just making sure I'm doing it right. Just looking at the Japanese direction. So I like this. This is just for getting like bubbles out of, like wraps and stuff, but it works great for this. Just anything with a nice wedge tip to it. You can even use like a spatula. But this is so the adhesive takes hold, goes down nice and flat, and it should not crop. See how it's bubbling a little, so that's going to get some of the bubbles out. Make sure it's all on nice and even. And they make like screen tones not just of like dot patterns, they make like weather formations, effects, even full-on backgrounds. Like Deleters just sells like a city that you can like cut and paste, like literally cut and paste into your scene if you want. I almost want to use it on just like one page, but like you're paying essentially $9 for that sheet, so you're paying $9 for like a background. It's kind of funny. If you could print this stuff yourself, that'd be really interesting. You'd need the special kind of paper though. I don't know if that's a thing you can do, but it would be really neat if you could. Because then what you could do that would be really, really awesome is take photos of backgrounds, run them through Manga Studio or Photoshop to get that, dot effect on it. And also because of my inking, like sometimes it's going to hit spots that are odd. print it out, and then you could like cut and paste your own screen tone backgrounds in. I think that'd be really, really cool looking. So I don't know, maybe that's something I should look into in the future, but I don't know if there's, I don't know if I can buy, well, maybe you can buy the stuff, because it's like sticker paper, sort of, a low adhesive sticker paper. And then, I'm just thinking out loud, this is kind of fun. But then you'd also need like a printer that prints it so that when you do like all this other stuff, it doesn't scrape off. You need like a very specialized printer. Guys, see guys, I do these streams and I get ideas. Make some videos. I'd kill to have more training videos from you. All right, I'll make more. It's just a matter of putting that stuff together. Bug AJ about it, because you'd have to edit them. I don't know how to do that shit. I don't want to learn more skills. But yeah, if I do training video, oh yeah, Dan could use them in his job, training his buddies. What we want to do is do not only training videos about this stuff, since nobody does it, and the people that do it a lot of times, it's like, oh, they're too good. It's like, Kit's only okay at it. I don't feel so intimidated. Plus, it's a voice I'm used to. Plus, he's drawing weird shit. Yeah, but the other thing we want to do is time-lapse videos where I just tell my stories, because everybody seems to like all my crazy people stories. It'd be nice to just not have to tell them again. I can just relay them to people. Like, yeah, here, I tell it on this one while I draw this booby lady. Yeah, you can have some nudity drawings on YouTube, too. Me and Chad looked at what the rules are. So now this is where we might get some overlap of the screen tones, and we're going to try and keep that just in the areas that are black. You're always thinking about, you just are always thinking, am I in the white or am I in the black? That's what's important. So we're going to do his pants. Oh, I missed it. Damn it, I didn't quite. Alright, I know what I'll do. We'll just do half of his pants, because we're getting the most out of this screen. God damn it. And having overlay isn't the worst thing. Like I said, you can even do cool effects with it, but we're not going to do overlaid screen tones right now. That's an advanced technique that I actually have not experimented with a lot yet, but there you go, that comes, oop, see, I ripped it. It'll happen. Gotta be very careful. This stuff is fragile. That's why it cuts nicely, but it's fragile. Be very careful. Do not do it that way. There we go. And I want to do I'm thinking I want to do a very light screen tone on his undershirt, and then maybe a medium tone for his hair and tail, because I want to knock the tail back, knock the hair back, but then have the face stand out. So I think that'll look nice. Oh, a little lower. And yeah, you can see me making mistakes, but that's okay, because we learn how to correct our mistakes. See, I missed this little highlight here, so let's just... You can also even ink over the screen tone, like if I wanted to get rid of all that highlight, you can just go... Oh, actually just tore the screen tone right off where I needed it, so whatever. See, no mistakes here. Well, happy accidents. I don't know what these emos. Who's that? Is that guy down there? Who's doing he's dabbing, I think? I don't know, they're so small. Let's cut off this. Also, you're going to get tons of screen tone all over your floor. The little bits, they get fucking everywhere. So be prepared for that. Although you can reuse some of them for like really small areas. It's like doing it's similar to doing fabric work in that way. Like if you know anybody who does like fabric stuff, my mom does, so that's why I know this. You just save like little bits, little scraps for repairs and smaller things. They call them fat quarters actually, and they sell them for nothing. It's just people's scraps. But that's a fabric people thing. That's what we'll do. I'll get my mom up here and we'll do a Kit's mom tutorial video about fabric stuff. Knowing you weirdos, you'd watch it. Remember back when I lived with my parents, and sometimes you'd hear her in the background? Remember those times? I like living with AJ better, but those were funny. Now this is tricky, getting this edge stuff without fucking up your drawing. See, I'm trying to do it right now. It's just like, ugh. Right on the edge. Well, let's do our corrections first, and then we'll worry about that. And also figure out what direction, what stroke direction is your strongest. Mine's up and to the right, like that. I can drag away like that with a lot of accuracy. Down and to the left is probably my weakest because I have to curl my elbow in. But if you hold your elbow differently, you might have a different strong stroke. Plus, it'll change based on whether you're right, left-handed, that kind of thing. So that's also why it's nice to have a workstation or ability to rotate your canvas. You'll see it a lot in digital stuff, is though people will constantly rotate their canvas digitally, so they're always working on their strongest angle. Depending on what kind of art you're doing traditionally, you may or may not be able to do that. If you're working on a big canvas, that gets really tricky. But if you're working on like even if you watch like Alex Ross, he actually has a YouTube channel now. Oh, hey, what's up? Hey, Ralph, oh, thank you. Yeah, those Twitch payouts mean something to me. Plus, you get to hear that loud fucking noise. It's less scary than it used to be. Let's cut that in. AJ might pop in too. AJ's got the week off. He decided to take Thanksgiving week off, so me and him could just do whatever the fuck we wanted. I don't like that little spot sticking out there, so we'll just... We're knocking these highlights back anyway, so it's not a big deal. So I've got more of the pants done. And it lines right up next to the other one. Flatten it down just like we did before. If this was class, you all would be doing it along with me. I'd be like, get out your Delita SE 35s and start shading the fairy's pants. Professor, I don't want to just do screen tone on a furry. You're a pervert. You get a failing grade for persecution. God, that's gay. Oh no, you guys gotta put up with my terrible jokes. So thank you very much. What I think I want to do is let's do the other half of the jacket before we get that last bit of pants. What we might be able to use these scraps over here to line that up, and then get the rest with. That could work. But let's do the jacket and then see what we got to work with. I think because this drawing's so big, Shannon, you're getting the big one. We're going to be using a lot of screen. Now see, we can't quite fit him all in there. We've got enough screen tone, but it's like a video game inventory system, like Resident Evil 4. So let's do as far down as, there we go. Let's get the shoulder. Let's crop the shoulder right, and then go down to past that thing, so we know. You just kind of want to give yourself segments that make sense. You're like, okay, this is a natural stopping point that'll work. This is gonna look great though. Like those segments that got the screen tone on them already look pretty cool. And it gives your stuff a real panache, a real finish quality. Finish quality's big, kiddos. As we get more confident, we can just start cutting out more accurate pieces. And we give ourselves a little wiggle room because you got to take it off and then slice it back on. The collar is that different parts. Let's make sure we've cut through nice. There we go. We don't want it in the background or on the tail. I thought I heard AJ. You might catch or hear a Ditko at some point. Yeah, see, also up and to the left I'm not very good because look, I'm dragging my hand in that funny way. Since it's a fairy. Oh, because I'm getting... what are you working on? I'm doing screen tones tonight. Like an old school manga artist. Uh-oh. Did my video go crap out? Oh, there. Whew, came back. Very carefully peel that off. Perfect. That came out great. pop that little triangle out. We can reuse that piece. Stick that right on. Oh, face. I get it now. Fakes. Okay, it's a very advanced gay joke. Very nice. Okay. Yeah. Okay. And then we cut again. And you just do this with all the places you want to have a little gray to, without doing maybe, other ways to do grays in just black and white is texturing with pens or brushes, or, I'll even come in sometimes with the Prismacolors. But screen tones have their own, they're all different ways to get similar effects. So it just depends on what aesthetic you're going for. I chose screen tones on this one because it's based on a Hiroyuki Araki page, the JoJo's guy from Diamond is Unbreakable, where Josuke strikes, this pose. Araki's anatomy is much sillier than mine. He's much more willing to break the human form than I am. So I toned it down a little, yes, I admit. You can look up the original if you want and be like, oh, yeah, if you put them side by side, you're like, oh, that's the same pose, just Kits is less crazy. But I tend to not, I just don't draw as crazy as Mr. Araki, and that's okay. Stream lagging kind of, feed breaks. Sorry. I'm doing a stop and go. Not much I can do about that. I don't think AJ's doing anything here. Let me do one thing to see. There we go. I just need the chat. I can pause I don't need the video double playing. Hopefully that'll help. And I'm not feeding the video back to myself. And zip. And old school manga artists, they would do this for every page, and they'd have little guides for, okay, this color goes here, this guy is this shade unless this effect is happening, and it would typically be one of your assistants. Their entire job was just doing screen tones. This is what they do day in and day out. Oh, look, lost a spot. So we'll have to go back in and fix that. Hey, we can use one of our scraps for that. It won't look perfect, but it'll get the job done. And that'll happen just because this stuff is so fragile. The more you get a hand for it, the less that happens. Your first time doing screen tones, it's going to be fucking frustrating. You're going to be like, why the hell did anybody start doing this? It's a nightmare. Yeah, if you guys want to ask questions about other stuff, go ahead. Treat these streams as impromptu AMAs. Talk about whatever you want. Tell me about your day. Tell me about any projects you're working on. Hopefully your week's been good. I've had a pretty good week. Once this is done, I've got a new VHB page for you all coming up. As you've seen, I've been working on lots of refs for False Start. Myers ref got penciled. That wasn't supposed to happen yet, but I had to work on something on that last stream. I was like, well, let's get Mr. Meyer done. Let's get the little Bonitis amulet out. There we go. Look at that. So look how cool this is starting to look too. And that's gonna scan and look so slick. You will have to play around with your scan and adjustment settings because depending on how your scanner is, this will fucking blow its mind. You won't know what to do. You definitely have to scan at a super high DPI, just fair warning. If you guys want, I'll do more voices. I don't care. Two more Venture Brothers voices. Me and AJ, we're on the 3rd season now. I've seen up to halfway through the 5th season. He's never seen any of it, but we're at that point in the relationship. This is coming out amazing. Oh, thank you, Rearmed. Just moved to it. Oh my God, you have been talking about that. No wonder some of the big ones had. Yeah, that's how they get like 17 really nice pages done a week. Like they always put on the cover, it's like manga by like, and it'll be like one person. You're like, how the fuck did they do that? It's assistants. like Kota Hirano, depending on how nice or not nice the manga artist is, or I guess how egotistical they are, they may or may not credit or talk about their assistants at all. But Kota Hirano, he like his assistants are just like his buddies, so he does whole comics about and with them. I actually have that manga. It's not translated, sadly, so I have no idea what the fuck it's about, but I do own it. I can get that out sometime and show you guys. You'd be like, what? It's like all in. It's like half in German too, because he's a weirdo. Not Monfamy 3. Oh man, I would have helped you out, bud. Me and AJ, we moved. My mom came up, and even she helped. Dave helped. Chad helped, but Chad had to help. He lives nearby. Chad's not much help though, because he's like, he weighs like 30 pounds. Dave is big help because he's fucking strong. Although maybe we probably won't make him do that kind of shit as much anymore. MS and all. If you want a Dave update about the MS stuff, he is in very high spirits. So I was just over there. I'll be going to his house for Thanksgiving because all of our we're doing Thanksgiving at the Lilies because all of our parents are too scared of COVID. People are like, no, don't visit anybody for Thanksgiving. But I visit the Lilies all the time, so and they don't want to have Thanksgiving alone. They've had and we don't either. So plus, we're thankful for each other. Ooh. Let's just cut this out. Shannon, you are getting a nice piece, girl. Yeah, sometimes with the black and white pieces, I'll do it on the toned paper and do highlights. Just depends on the feel I want for the piece. And this, I definitely want that manga feel, so that's what's happening. Let's clean that up a little. Alright, and then we press. I binged all of Venture Brothers in the past week. Oh my god, I've not seen the second half of season 5. I haven't seen any of 6 or 7, so no spoilers. But man, is that good shit or what? Plus, isn't it fun watching the animation get better? Because, like, the first season, like, it's fine, but it's like, oh, this is a little rough. Second season, oh, that's improvement. Third season, you're like, wow! And they just keep adding things, and they start to do, like, new, weird, experimental stuff. The models continuously sharpen up. Even the voice acting, like, improves. Because, like, it's a small team of voice actors. They're very good. In particular, the guy who does Dean Venture's voice, he's in a bunch of anime now, so... Obviously, Patrick Warburton as Brock is great. Rearmed, who's your favorite character, though? AJ's favorite is Helper. We're done. Oh, okay. Where did you guys move to? Are you still in Atlanta area, or have you moved out of there? Sipping on an energy drink a little. Normally I wouldn't do that this late, but I want to keep my energy up for you guys. Okay. We're going to have just enough. Look at that. Oh, right on the edge. So Shannon wonders why buying the original costs extra. This used an entire sheet of this stuff, of screen tone, and these cost like $9 a piece, so don't any of you be whining about my prices. Dr. Henry Killinger. Oh, wait, we just watched the second episode with him where he tricks Dr. Venture into being a villain for a while. AJ got a kick out of that. My favorite character is probably I like I like Shore Leave and Dr. Orpheus a lot. There we go. Oh, that's right. Yeah, right. No, that's good stuff. It's a complicated narrative, but it's really funny and it's really smartly written, and it doesn't waste a goddamn minute of your time. Like, stuff you think is background gags early on becomes, like, plot points later on. It's crazy. Yeah. cut over there. Let's make sure I've got all the way. There we go. And like this Tamiya model tape, I'm using the same couple of pieces. You can just kind of keep reusing it because it's low adhesive and it's not going to fuck up your drawing. And you can use it for other stuff. I use it also to do borders on my comics. Ooh, that sort of tear in a bad way. Oh, it's around the hand. Okay, so let's start down here. I use it to do borders on my comics, and I use it for its actual intended purpose, masking off my models when I want to do like stripes and stuff. Come on, separate. There we go. Okay, very carefully take that off. Got some sensitive pieces here. Perfect. Alright, came off as intended. Great. I don't know if I've met Red Death. I don't think so. Like I said, I haven't gotten to season 6 and 7 at all. A lot of times, show them how fun and fun these things happen. This one we cut a little close, so I gotta be careful. Oop, I might have not done it quite enough, in which case we'll have to do some ink work to fix her up, which that's okay. Or we can use our scraps to come in and fix it up. Yep, wasn't quite on the mark with some of those. Darn, darn, darn. Well, right here, this is a good spot for ink. When it's just a little shy, it's like, let's go in and fix it with ink. No big deal. But larger spots, like where I messed up down here, that we'll use a scrap for. Look at that, perfect. A little bit on the edge there. This spot, I think this spot we could just increase the size of the shadow and we'll be fine. And that's what's also nice is you can just ink right on top of the screen tone. It's really not a big deal because you're going to be pressing it down anyway. And it's all going to scan together. Okay, so let's tidy this up a bit. I know Dave's favorite character is the Monarch. He says he relates to him. I think that's cute. A little bit right there that didn't quite get covered, so let's... This is where you want tweezers. It's for these really little spots. Oop. Spit out a bit there. Oh, it must not be. There we go. Now we got it on the right side. Oh, no, I think the adhesive's dead, so we'll have to get a fresh piece for that. Well, let's get back to doing our. Sometimes that's the other thing is your scraps. They've gone through too much. They're dead. You can't reuse them anymore. Now this scrap though. Very precise. And you can see where that overlay is. It'll create a bit of a... It creates a bit of a distraction, so you want to cut it as much as possible. Because, yeah, once they layer up, they immediately make darker gray. That's how you can do, like, really cool shading effects.
Look closely at your manga. You'll see it all the time. It's overlaid screen tones. We're doing the very simple stuff.
So now we're going to have to cut it out of his claws. See his claws there?
He's got little highlights in his claws. We don't want the screen tone fucking those highlights up. Come on, get up. You can yell at your screen tone all the time, too. It doesn't matter. It's not a person. You can yell at it, cut it, abuse it as much as you want. The only thing you're hurting is your own illustration. You'll also, if you want to ship these, make sure they're between stuff. You don't want the friction of the package moving around or any environmental effects to damage the drawing while it's being shipped. So make sure you ship between two pieces of hard cardboard or other artboard, something. As long as it's nice in between that stuff, you should be okay though. Zip. Ooh yeah. Got some minor corrections to make. Just the stuff goes right to the edge. It's important. Oh, I got a piece that's sticking on there. That's why it's worth getting a brush. I need to get Pat to tell me where he has his Venture Brothers DVDs. I've seen some episodes, but I was totally lost with. Yeah, it's very continuity heavy. I can see that. Damn, it's going to that ink screen. I can't eat. Does yelling at it change its tone? If only. Top loaders are great for shipping. Also serves as a reusable frame. Oh, smart. Smart. Nah, I'm only doing the Killinger voice so much because we just watched one of those episodes and me and AJ were acting like doofuses together. Um, I love impersonating voices. I'm not particularly good at it, but it's fun, especially because I do a lot of D&D. So it's fun to have a bunch of different bad voices at my disposal. Almost done. Let's just tidy this up a little. This edge. And yeah, though, because of that continuity heaviness, the seasons grow on each other because it gets so dense and layered with jokes. It also makes rewatching it really fun because there's so much shit you pick up. You're like, oh my god, that was this. They started setting this up that early, like stuff that doesn't pay off forever. And then you're like, 4 seasons in, you're like, that was like a background gag, and now it's a full-on plot point. That's crazy. I appreciate that kind of layered, dense writing. Go figure. Venture Brothers was a big inspiration for False Start, so super science, dense, layered jokes, lots of weird shit thrown at you that you think is pointless, but then it's not. You know, it's all there. It's all there. Trying to get right along that edge so I don't get over the layer. There we go. Oop, let's get that. A lot of scraps. I just want them on the ground, away from my drawing. One, two. Should be the third piece. Go 3. There's a ton of pretty obscure, weird references. Some of them I don't get. I'm sure I just think, oh, that's just them talking. But there's just crazy shit layered in there. It's like a show for real nerds. Like it's what the Big Bang Theory wishes it could have been. I don't like that little. That's a little sloppy right there, but should be alright. Let's get this on. Scrape it on, everybody. You know how it goes. Yeah, be careful where your overlays are. You can very easily scrape that up on accident. You don't want that. Don't be afraid to press down hard. That'll keep it on nice. Especially if you're moving it around a lot. You want that stuff on good. Alright, let's do the last of the pants. And then we'll be ready to move on to our lighter tone for his inner jacket, which we'll do one big inner part, then 1, 2 for the collar, I don't know, the part of the wrist, whatever you call it. And then we'll do his hair and tail. I think that'll be good. So this will be a relatively short stream. You've got to stick around if you're not too interested. But please, feel free to comment, ask me about stuff. You can ask me about basically anything you want. Talk about anything you want. I do not care. We kind of went over basic screen tone stuff. It's once you get the rhythm of it, it's pretty simple. It's just, gotta be careful. If you're having trouble seeing your screen tone and are worried about that, you can use a light table. I don't really find it necessary. This is my darkest screen tone, and I can see it just fine. See through it just fine. So, but it's an option. Or if you just don't want to be too harsh on your eyes or squint a lot, you got options. You got options. Zimbabwe. The cuff. God damn, I could not remember that word. Thank you. I'm sure that's a regular streaming thing, is to forget very basic words. I'm on the spot. There's like 10 people here. Oh. There we go. Oh. Lovely. Lovely, lovely. Let's make sure we get that on good. Perfect. There we go. Nice. Get a nice clean edge there. Let's make sure it's not overlapping into the other one. That's the other reason it's nice to do just big swaths, so you don't have to worry about overlapping. That's why it's nice to just have a lot of this stuff on hand and then use the little bits for actual small bits. But if you're doing this comic to comic, you'd work on much smaller panels than this. So you'd use those smaller bits. This is a big illustration. So ideally, you've got a few sheets of the stuff, but I got the one. I'll order more. I wasn't sure if I was going to end up using screen tones for commissions. I was like, I'll try it out. And then I was like, oh, these look great. These are awesome. Oh, there's a big bubble. We got to get rid of it. Oh, got to get rid of it. Oh, beautiful. That bubble's fucking gone. Just like manga Jesus intended. Oh. Still getting that down more, huh? Yep. You could do this forever and watch it get down more and more, but you also start scraping at it. Okay, so our jacket is done. It's looking pretty cool. Pretty swarthy, if I do say so myself. A few little errors, but overall adds to the presentation. Now, let's do those cuffs. That SC30, that's way too light. I'm thinking 31 or 33. I'm going to do 31 for the... do I have enough? Yes. I got 31 I can do for the shirt, the inner shirt, and then I'll do a 33 for the hair and tail. How are you and AJ doing? Oh, we're doing good. Like I said, we've been watching lots of fun stuff together. He's got the week off, which is lovely. Where did my tape go? There it is. It's nice to, because it's like he's at home, but he's always working. So it's like, he doesn't really, he's got to work. I've got to work, but he's got the week off, so he's just enjoying himself, playing video games, being nice to me, which is very appreciated. He's wonderful that way. That's why I go to the gym, so I can be pretty for him. Trying to be a little close on this just because I don't want to have to work with too much overlap. Oh, be careful, I was cutting past his neck. See, I'm not perfect at this, but you can make errors. They're just expensive. Literally. Okay, that should fit. Might need to do a little tightening up though. Where did that cut end up? Oh, I didn't finish cutting, that's why. Or did I? Oh, God. Sorry, I got a little lost there. Forgot to cut out one of the sides. See? You fuck up, man. You can't hardly see what you're doing sometimes. There we go. We're in the right area. There we go. Let's quickly fix that. There we go. Kit is the trophy. I'm trying to be a trophy husband. I gotta be worth something. That or if the comics gotta start making a fuck ton of money. We'll see. Things have been working up. We're gonna try. Ooh. Oh, that wasn't supposed to happen. Whatever. A little extra to work with, I think. Oh, no, it ripped. Oh, that ripped in a really weird way. That will happen on you. Yikes. Okay, let's see if we can get this on. Oop. Ugh. Boy, this is like edge of my seat panic inducing. There we go. Oh, nice. Oh, I made it work. Oh, that was getting scary. Ay, ay, ay. Little touch up around the collar. Very tiny bit. There we go. Alright. More cutting. Why do the screen tone sheets have markings or areas that look like they are less saturated? Unless it was a trick of the light. Oh, God, yeah, the little yeah, they've got, little, like, orientation markers. It's a little hard to see on that one. They'll have little lines. They'll have little lines through them, and you'll occasionally see, like, little cross dots. I'm assuming that's just a printing thing. I'm not really sure what it's all about. It just has, it must just have to do with how they're manufactured. Like I said, oh yeah, that was before you were here, Ralph. But I was really curious as to how they print these, because I think it'd be really cool to print your own. One, they're expensive. Two, you could probably come up with some really neat stuff. Like I said, there's screen tones that are just backgrounds, like it's just a whole city. Oh, just cut and paste that in. Great. What's poppin'? Big titties. No big titties tonight. No, this is just a nice young man. Not even a particularly sexually deviant one. We're on Twitch, so, you know, we gotta be careful. But we are talking about... Oh, ow. Ooh. Yep, just cut myself. Working with razors, what do you think? We are talking about manga techniques, though. And the screen tones you can use to make those big titties pop right off the page. You'll commonly... Yeah, screen tones are commonly used to shade nipples, so... Because they look just... You use a nice little SE35 on a nipple. Ooh. Perfect. Okay, I don't want that overlap. You're going to hear me talk about overlap a lot. Sorry. But I can understand if most people don't find dot paper to be the most interesting thing. But other people do. So I figured it'd be worth streaming it. I'm trying to stream more every week. Because you're just supposed to do that in this day and age. Not really a well, I don't know. I'm good at talking to people, but hopefully in the future I can get some voice on. Add more people to the Snake Pit stream so I can have someone to bounce stuff off of. I would have Billy, but he's got a cough. Sorry, no Billy for you. No silly Billy. Actually, you know what'll look really good is if we cut out the buttons. I just realized this. It'll be tricky, but it'll make the piece ultimately look stronger, so that's what we're going to do. Those buttons will pop nicely, make nice little accents. Let's get it along this lapel. Gotta know all the parts of the suit jacket. Oh, who's that? Who did that? Who did that? I'll look up. Oh, somebody. Oh, Dave did. Hi, Dave. God damn it. Doing good. Did art. Oh, dream. Nipples just in time. How are you doing? Looks really badass to be honest. It does, right? Doing good. Did art today. Got a healthy meal. Now being a tiny bit. Oh, okay. Oh my God, you're going to bed early. Guys, he used to stay up till like 3 a.m. like every night. Bonus for a mangaka. A little slow for that, but I mean, I could do the layouts fast enough to do the manga shit, but the protagonist of Downfall. Oh God, no! You don't want to be like that guy. That guy's a lunatic. Yeah, man. No way. Kimono is Japanese for kimono manga. Yeah, that's true. I always thought kimono was like, cause it always looks like little kid stuff. Like not always porn, but it's always about like cute little chibi. Like, is it just furry manga or? Because I always see it as like kid stuff, like the cub looking stuff, like not just porn, but they always look real short. Is that just a style thing? I don't know. And then you see the gay stuff, and it's always like huge dudes, which I believe that's just called bara. I hope I'm getting this shit right. I don't really look at a lot of porn, so. Talk about art and any of the... Aw, the plan. Yeah, no kidding. Never sub, never ad block on stolen laptop neighbors. God damn it. Pokemon forgot to... No, I can't say that. We can't talk about her. I'll get banned again. Pokemon's a real Larry boy, if you know what I mean. She's a real VeggieTales fan. I don't even know what she looks like, to be honest. Yeah. Oh, right. We want to do the buttons before we do the... Now this is real precision work. This is what all those Gundam models are for. Oh, do you guys want to see my Gundams? I got them right next to my desk now. I can put them on camera for a bit. We can go over each of those for a second. You guys want to see my Gundam models? Oh, that looks so cool. Look at that. Ah, that little button. Kimono is Beast, I think. So okay. Want to see Gundam. Here, I'll put the light on them for a second so they look nice. I need to get like a display light just for them. This will work in a jiffy. got a bunch. These and I assembled and painted all of these, so they're all hand painted. Everything in this cabinet except for the Metal Earth stuff. But here, I'm just gonna scroll along with it. So up there you can see Ava Unit 6, Kylo Ren's ship. More importantly, Spike Spiegel's ship. That's the one I painted. Heavy arms. Down here is I've got a X-wing that I painted along with Death Scythe and Epion. Epion's my favorite. Oop. I've got Tall Geese, Sandrock, Millennium Falcon, and then it's a little hard to get down below, but I've got the Shenlong, the Endless Waltz manga version down there. So yeah, those are my babies, and they watch over me as I work. Here, let me get my light set back up. But yeah, them's my Gundams. Them's what that's so when I'm done painting, I go and work on that shit. Or play Hollow Knight, whatever. It's free this month, give me a break. Bara is also for human. Bara is rose. It's also for humans. Look at Gengoro Tagame stuff. Okay. In Japan, the rose is manly. Bara is gay content from men for men. It's a Gundam. Yaoi is. I know Yaoi is for women. Gachimuchi is a subgenre of. I didn't know that. Epion favorite. Oh, hey, that's your favorite too. Good choice. Good choice. It's a cool looking one. The demon one. Okay, let's pop another one of these buttons out while we're here. Oh. Oh, that wasn't a cut. That was the highlight. But anyway, Dave, glad to have you in here, bud. Hope you're enjoying watching me do very, very slow, delicate, weird work. Don't worry, I already cut myself. That's typical, though. New blade. See? Ripped it. Oh, we can get it back in there if we're careful. Shit's like surgery, man. Okay. I saw a Blue Exorcist. I've not seen it or read it. Those are AJ's. He was a big fan. He says he really likes the art style of it. I know nothing about it, though. But yeah, you can see one of my many comic shelves in here as well. Get in there. There we go. Got it back in there. That was delicate work, fellas. Ay. Tagame is a legend in the game. Oh, I'll have to look at some of his stuff. I like reviewing weird, especially like legendary porn art. Like, Legend of the Overfiend's been a fun one. Bringing in Bible of Filth with R. Crumb. Those are like the two big ones I've done. Omaha, like an actually good one. I mean, like Overfiend is good, but like not because it's not in like a good way. It's good because it's really fucking funny. It's not hot. I'm sure it is for some people, but it's mostly just like fucking weird and crazy. Lots of hardcore stuff. Oh, okay, sure. Well, I will look into Mr. Tagame if they've ever published, especially if they've ever published any of his stuff in trade in the U.S. I would love to read some of that. Omaha the Cat Dancer by Kate Worley and Reed Waller is that's just an excellent comic. The Bible of Filth by R. Crumb is a bunch of different short gag porno stories he made. Mr. Crumb made throughout his years. Obviously, R. Crumb, fairly well-known American cartoonist, but he would draw just the grossest shit ever. But he'd make it funny, so I don't know. Maybe he found it hot. Maybe some weirdos did. I feel like he more did it just to be as gross as possible, just because of the way he would draw things. And the fact that he can draw very realistically when he wants to, and he did not go for like a like hot style. He just was like, oh, what's disgusting? Oh, this. Okay, it's disgusting and funny and raunchy. Okay, and it was the 60s and 70s, and he could somehow get away with it. We were done with that Leave It to Beaver shit. Look at that. Oh, that looks so good on him. Okay, be very careful. I got some pieces there. Ah, damn it. Fuck, where'd it go? That was that little bit that popped off. We'll put it back on. Now this is when this stuff gets frustrating. I said it wasn't frustrating. I lied. Fuck this. I'm never doing it again. May I send you some links? Oh, please do, please do. I'd love to have a. We got another porno review request this week that seems pretty out there. It's got like dragons fucking in it and stuff. And like I know that's hot for some people, but to me it just it just looks bizarre. So I'm like, all right, that'll be funny. Oh, here I can use this scrap, I think. I wonder if you could use micros. No, because microset is for like. Because microset is something you use to put decals on the models. I'm almost like, could you use microset to do like little pieces? I wonder. Alright, I'm going to use my pencil to hold this down and then cut out the areas. So this is when it gets surgical, guys. This is when all those years of video game playing pay off. Just kidding. That does not help with this. Sorry, Mom. Alright, not perfect, but should be good. Oh, come on, stay on. Whew. There we go. No, and I don't mind reading hardcore comics either. It's just drawings to me. I do not care. I've seen everything in the world drawn at this point, so like I can judge whether something will gross most people out, but it's not going. I just really don't get offended at anything. So, all right, not staying on perfectly, but should scan pretty well. Microset, I bet would work. Maybe, oh, you could use rubber cement, I bet, which I do have some, though. That's in a huge container, so not really ideal for this kind of work, but, you know. Rude shot to AJ, Force Cack, insert Slay the Dragon. Well, no, they're just like, it's, from what I saw, it was like the dragons got married, and then they started to have dragon sex, and the one dragon has like 2 dicks, and the girl's like, whoa, I didn't know about this. Like, porn plots are so funny. Like, they're so, and like people get really serious about them. Like, oh, that scene with the dragons fucking, that scene changed my life. It's why I graduated college. I'm like, oh, okay, didn't realize that was so important to you. Like, I don't know, but I guess I get really like, oh, well, Helsing changed my life, and that's a comic about like a crazy person who murders people constantly. It's like, yeah, I found it really inspiring. It's like, what the fuck? So you just never know. Alright, what was I using? A 33, I think. 31. See, we did that long strip. Okay, so we're going to get his cuffs. Oh, if I'm good, I can just do it. I can do both cuffs at once. It made me realize my true calling. The dragons fucking did, Colin? That's how you realize your true. What was your true calling? Was it not music? Was it to make music for dragons fucking? Reptile diphallus. I mean, yeah, like a lot of snakes have 2 dicks. I know way too much. I like know so much more about animal dicks than I ever want to know from being in this community. I fucking hate it. I don't want to know any of this shit. Well, I do and I don't. I want to know it because it's funny. I don't want to know that people are like, yeah, that's hot. Like, yeah, it'd be cool if I had 2 dicks, but like, I don't think it's hot that a snake has 2 dicks. Like, I've seen a garter snake. They're not like, whoo, oh baby. Getting hot in the garden here, looking at the small reptiles. He's got 2 dicks, that lucky son of a bitch. Of course. I only know as much about kangaroo dicks as I know because I used to raise them, and those fucking horny bastards, they get wound up in the morning. Jesus Christ. They get out of their pens and they are ready to rock. And not even just with each other, with fucking anything. We had one every morning, he would fuck his bale of hay. This is a real story. I'm not making any of this up. You can't make that shit up. That's one cuff. These will be really easy, luckily. Yep. I say that as I fuck it up immediately. There we go. Oh, lovely, lovely, lovely. Let me get that. And next. Do all reptiles have two dicks, or just like some? Is it all snakes, or just some? Also, why? Like, did that, like, I guess I mean, it's evolution, so it must have given them an advantage. Maybe lady snakes had, like, weird vaginas, and, like, some snakes end up with two dicks, and it was like, whoa, hey, makes it a lot easier. Maybe they missed a lot. Having two dicks helped, because, like, snakes aren't very smart. Maybe having two dicks, like, helped them hit the target. See, this is what I think. I'm not like, oh, it's hot. I'm like, okay, what's the evolutionary advantage here? Or was it just that lady snakes were like, whoa, that one, he's got two cocks. I'm more into that. Like, you know, because most girls would be. They'd be like, oh, guy with two dicks. Like, we've all seen Double Dick Guy. If you haven't, Google that shit. It's crazy. He's got two functioning cocks. And yes, he took pictures. And he's taking video even. And yeah, they fucking work. Some guys get all the luck. Thank God his parents didn't like have those removed or something. Like, oh yeah, you were born with two penises, so we had one removed. No! The worst. Maybe they're designed like electric. That, you know, male and female ports. You might be right. That might actually be it. Maybe lady snakes. Well, wait, yeah. Well, which came first then? The double dick or the double vagina? See, I can say this shit and not get banned. Draw one wrong Christian cartoon character, though. What a wild. Ooh. Oh, look at that. Oh, perfect. No overlap. I don't know if Dave is still here. He like popped. Well, he said he was just doing it before he went to bed. He probably just popped in for a hot second. Always good to hear from him. He's always like streaming at weird. He's always like streaming when I'm at the gym or something. Like, can't pop in, David. So I'm gonna try and make it sometime. Okay, so that's the undershirt. Let's do. I still don't like that. There we go. Be perfect. Be perfect for me. Alright, so let's do his tail and his hair, and then I think we'll be done. Fucking cool though, right? Huh, Google is surprisingly scarce on these rather creepily. How do we know all this? Oh, seeing it on camera. Oh, yeah, that looks slick. That really adds to it. You can see why this makes manga look... It has that finished look to it. It's a big one. Finished quality. Excuse me, I farted. Alright, so we are going to use a 33 for the hair.
tail. They got lots of space for it. Got plenty of that stuff left, so. And then we'll be done. And you guys, when I post this on Twitter, you'll be like, I was. Excuse me, Jesus. I was there. I saw him do all of this. It's real. He didn't do it in Manga Studio. Like a cheap whore. Just kidding. Even Paru Itagaki, whose stuff is mostly very hand-drawn, her screen tones are done at Manga Studio. You can tell, I talk about it on Shots of Comics all the time, is there are some very specific brushes you'll see a lot of, and they really only are brushes you'll see in Manga Studio. There's a circular cross-hatching brush that layers up very nicely, and I know this because I used to use that exact brush in Manga Studio all the time. You can see it in issues 2 and 3 of False Start. Four Roses is good. Not a favorite of mine, but like in terms of just it is a very affordable, easy, good whiskey. Yeah, you'll be fine with that one, buddy. No complaints from me. Had it for Christmas 2 years ago, I want to say. Christmas. I'm gonna get so confused about what Christmas happened on which Christmases. One, because I'm fucking 32. Two, because with coronavirus, like, what even is time anymore? I like CSP. What is CSP? Child sex porn? Okay, that's an odd brand name, but you know, if it's good whiskey. CSP. Oh, Clip Studio Paint. Okay. Right. I'm late. Nothing new here. Hello. Hey, Rob. What's up, buddy? Did you get a hold of that lady I told you to talk about maps with? The cartographer? Guy's looking to get some cartography commissions. And he emailed me, and I was like, oh, that's not really... I mean, I could draw maps, but... it's not really something I do a lot of. I was like, well, I know people who are better at this, so throw some work their way. That's why you network. Oh god, I lost what the hell I was cutting. It was over here. This guy's a dunderhead. He fucks up all the time. I like to think it's encouraging. Okay. Good. We'll get this other slack of hair, and then we'll do his tail, and we'll be done, guys. See, a nice, quick little stream. They don't always have to be all 3 hours, but we can learn stuff and check in on each other throughout the week. You know, a little self-care. Oh, shut up. I think, like, a lot of people who talk about self-care, they're just procrastinating. Like, oh, I did self-care today. It's like, so you didn't get anything done? Yeah, it was self-care. I did. Then I forgot to follow up. Should probably do. Oh, please do. Because I was actually talking with that woman over the week. I was shipping her some stuff, so she's curious to hear back from you. And see, I knew you talked to her, but I just wanted to make conversation. Popping some Motrin so I can make it through this. Yeah, I know Cran is teaching himself, like, over the weekend he taught himself like traditional animation. I saw what he's working on. When he gets able to put it up on Twitter, it's probably going to be I can't wait to share it with you guys, because what he's working on looks really nice. Don't know if you'll be able to share it or not, but it does look good. It is military stuff, so you know I can't always share that, but come on.
long as I don't do BetterHelp. Yeah, is BetterHelp still a thing? I figured that like crashed and burned. After all the Philip the Dilip the Denko stuff. Come on. Oh, get out of there. Get out. There we go. Oh, look at that. Oh, beautiful hair. Beautiful. That's beautiful. Just beautiful. Okay. Flatten that down because then it won't come up while I'm working. Then I scan it, and then I can just let all these pieces fall off anyway. You don't want that, though. Thanks for the e-file. Oh, okay. Oh, man, that was a trip. Oh, did you try BetterHelp at some point? Oh, Kit low-key shitting on Dave right now. Oh, no! Dave would never even call it self-care. He'd be like, I'm taking, I don't know. He'd come up with something funny. Self-care, that's like weird Twitter weirdo talk that they use because they have anxiety. It's not me shitting on people who have issues with anxiety. I've had it too. It's people who make having anxiety their personality. I actually was cleaning up the studio and I found someone to give me a sticker that was about them and them being anxious. I'm like, no, don't make this part of your brand. Jesus Christ. It's like it's just asking to be unhappy because it's like, oh, if being anxious is part of your brand, then in order to make money, you have to be like relatably unhappy and unhealthy. Like that's not good. Don't do that. You silly billies. Self-care sounds like washing your hair or something. Yeah, it should just be that. Well, that's just like hygiene. But it does sound a little bit like, oh yeah, I was doing self-care today. So like you put on antiperspirant? Self-care. It's like you went to the gym? Oh god, no. Then I'd actually be happier. Self-maintenance like a computer or a robot. Being married to misfortune. Yeah. Slight Brock yeah, like I said, we do the voices. Oh man. That's crazy. Can't help it. I love doing voices. If you hang out with me at all, you'll know I do voices constantly. Some people think I'm really good at it. Some people say I'm shit. So I'm probably shit, but it is fun. Like I said, it helps for D&D. Very tiny pieces. Yeah, and I'm not doing like an Orpheus impression. Because like to do his voice, you just have to yell. And I have neighbors. Medina, I know. Oh yeah, there you go. It's actually, oh, thank you. Which DK character? Oh, who would I voice? Oh, I don't know. Who do you guys think? Who do you guys think I would be a good voice for in Dreamkeepers? Who would I be a good voice for in False Start? God. There's, I don't even know. Which character would talk like an obnoxious shock jock? Which character sounds the most like a weasel? That's not even a ferret joke. I just think I have a weird, nasally, annoying voice. Some people say it's nice. I'm also told I pretty much just... Like, I just always sound sarcastic, which sucks because I don't really talk sarcastically a lot. So it's annoying to, by default, sound that way. Could be worse. Could sound like Kermit the Frog. That's me making fun of Dave. My buddy who sounds like Jordan Peterson. Speaking of, Jordan Peterson's back. He's got a new book coming out. Which, you know, neither of those things particularly big deal to me. What is funny is the article is coming out about the publishing house that is publishing his new book, and how people who work there burst into tears when it was announced, and they had like a big meeting, and they said, what is it? He's like a white supremacist icon, and that this book will harm non-binary. Like, it was crazy. The article had typos in it too, and it's from Vice. Remember when they were a real publication? Like, Jordan Peterson's gonna hurt trans people. No, he's just like a guy. He's just like a nice man. Like, whether you like him or not, he just seems like he's probably like decent company. I sound like Richter Belmont crossed with Dr. Cortex. I can hear it a little bit. Hey, don't throw shade at Rackets. Like, oh, Captain Antioch would be much because British. Oh, they had a self-care meeting. Yeah, there you go. They had a self-care meeting and all lost their fucking minds. Like, it's the most Vito Gesualdi tweeted about it, and I was looking through it and I was like, oh my god, because I'm not actually gonna click on a Vice article because fuck those people. Just reading about them like, oh my god, like people crying at work about their job of publishing self-help books from like young, well, not young, like old nice Canadian professors. Like, how pathetic. Jesus Christ. Imagine a book making, yeah, right? Well, like, maybe if I'm reading a really good fiction book and it's very moving, like that's something. I've had that experience, but like just hearing the idea of a book, like if you like touch them with a copy of Mein Kampf, would they have like a depressive fit? Ah! Like they carried that book in my school library because it's it's a history thing. Um, it hates me. It's crazy. It's a fucking book. Kids are weird. Well, I guess, like, are they kids? Like, they work in a industry related to mine. Like, it's weird, man. It's weird. Okay, let's do his tail, and then we'll be done. Anyway, not trying to get too political on you guys or anything. It's just, I just read that today. I was like, oh my god. Because, yeah, usually it's college students. It's not like employed people in the publishing industry were shaking and having meltdowns at work because a little old man is making a second book after almost dying in Russia. Dr. Seuss makes me cry. Very compelling. Charlotte's Web was yeah, like, Charlotte's Web, that's a good book. What was that? I think it was like Ice-T commented on it to like a little kid because the kid was reading. She's like, about Wilbur and shit. Yeah, like he said something like that. I just forget what the quote was, but it was like an Ice-T quote about Charlotte's Web. About Wilbur and shit. It's good. That's yeah. May the meltdown. They could be like, call me cynical, but it's the most interesting. Well, sure. It very well could be. God, marketing's gotten cynical. So that's why, like, I don't doubt. Like, I don't know what's worse though. People actually having meltdowns, or people having meltdowns for marketing. Those are both terrible options. Oh, Dave, do I need to have a like? Me and Dave could stage like a rivalry for a while to market Dreamkeepers or something. Bonitis quits in a fury. I'm not working with him. He didn't cry enough when the new Jordan Peterson book came out. Ah! I don't know. I think I got the book top of the charts here. Was the channel. That shit was crazy. So what are you saying? Is you hate women? You know me. What did a woman hate? I hate women so much I chose to never marry one. Chose to just take that option off the table. I have a lot of women friends, but just I don't know if I could marry a woman. I don't really want to. I'm pretty happy being married as I am. So now, if AJ turned into a woman, that'd be fine. Hopefully, he'd keep his level head on his shoulders, though. Excuse me. There we go. Find your groove. All right. Last two pieces. Then we're done, guys. Um, while I wrap this up, do these last two pieces. If you had any more questions with the screen tone process, now is the time. Though we can also just talk about more silly marketing stuff, because that's fun too. Okay. I know a lot of the times these outlets won't cover these people at all anymore because they know that their stupidity turns into marketing. Oh man, I have no idea. But do they want the clicks more? I don't know. They're so fucking crazy. And like you got to remember like some of these are business professionals versus like furries who like they're just like outraged because they don't know how to like have real feelings anymore because they've made their lives about pornography consumption and are now insane. Marketers need a boot on. They do. No, they need. I've said it many times. Marketers need like a new form of ethics board because the shit they do is just wrong. Like they misinform people so much, and the fact that like marketing turns into news. I mean, you know, you read Ryan Holiday's 2015 book about it, and he's just like, oh yeah, stuff I was doing as marketing pranks began to turn into real news, and I recognized, oh, this is bad. And then he made a book about it, and then nobody cared and kept doing it anyway. It's Trust Me, I'm Lying by Ryan Holiday. Very good book. I have many questions, none of them. Oh, that's too bad. I will take your questions. Don't worry. Can always do a change of topic. And lift. I sound like an aerobics instructor. And lift and separate and it's all an act, but the act has gone on for so long. It's all yeah. Like I think maybe some of these people it did start out as an act. But, let's stage a rivalry and then fuck it up and it becomes real. And oh no, yeah, that does. Yeah, that's what celebs can't do anything right because they don't have managers. I think they can't afford them. E-celebs are like even more disposable celebrities. Um, fame fucks with people, man. Listen to that book. Oh, you have. Cool. I know Billy has too. If scientists need an ethics board, Mark. I mean, yeah. Like it's weird that it's come to that, but I really just seeing what it does to people and how much it fucks with them and their minds and like it starts to fuck with other people because the people around them just believe insane shit that was designed not to inform them but to sell them garbage. Like that's not good. That's not a good place for a society to be at. It's it's bad capitalism. That's capitalism with no restraints. That's when you're libertarian too hard. That's coming from a guy who votes libertarian a lot. But I'm libertarian on a lot of things because I just want to do a good job and make a lot of money from it and retire and be happy. Not because I want to like fuck with the poor or like own. Well, I do want to own a nuke, but for good reasons. Yeah, no. Yeah, no. I know the roads shit. Don't worry. Uh, there we go. The little part of the tail is good. Almost heard a bit of Bob Ross. I don't know if I do a good Bob Ross. I don't know his voice. I could wear my Bob Ross underwear though. Someone bought that for me. I have Bob Ross socks as well. Stop streaming. Oh no, how do you stop Ming? Don't worry, I'll be done streaming in a minute here. separate. Oh, oh, we didn't quite finish our cuts. You have to pay attention to your form.
It's like aerobics. Oh my god.
It's also a good time to have a Roomba because it'll sweep all this shit off the floor for you. That's just a good reason to have a Roomba in general. But in particular, if you have lots of small pieces of dot paper everywhere. Another thing you can do is you can go back into areas you've done big amounts over, and you can cut pieces out. You'll see manga artists do like scratchy stuff, but you can just cut parts out. Like if I wanted to put highlights in the hair, I would go back in and I'm not going to. I don't think it needs it, but you can put it on and then scratch it out. You'll see them use. I'm not sure how they. I mean, you use an X-Acto knife, but you use a bunch of different tools to like scrape the stuff off and get neat effects. Or if you want to like taper it off, you would scrape it off at the edges real roughly. So again, the manga guys got real creative with this stuff. I talked about really bad screen tone usage in my White Knight review. Not the Sean Murphy art, but the Klaus Janson art. The art in that issue is largely good, but man, he applies his, and he even does it digitally, but he applies his digital screen tones in such a slipshod manner that it's like embarrassing. I'm like, what are you doing? Like, you're a professional. You've been at this for decades. Why did you think this looked good? I think he's relatively new to it because Klaus Janson notoriously does not like manga, and yet he's inking in Manga Studio, which that's funny. Well, I guess it's Clip Studio now, apparently, so, he's probably like, oh, I don't have to stay away from it. There's a certain sect of, like, old school American comic artists who, like, they just hate manga, like, irrationally. And it's like, hey, there's, like, a lot to learn here. And a lot of those guys, they are good artists in their own respect, but they're old and weird, have their hang-ups. But, like, you'd have to be kind of like an idiot to look at something like Katsuhiro Tomo's work on Akira and be like, yeah, it's no good. It sucks. I'm so much better than that guy. No, you're not. Get the fuck out of here. Alright, so we'll tape this down and then we'll sign it and we'll be done. So like I said, any last minute questions, screen tones or not, any other subjects we talk about, or if you just, well, I've always wanted to ask you about, but I've always been afraid. Get it out. You can just tell me, wow, you suck at streaming on your own. You sound like a blathering idiot. Say that too. Go for it. Doesn't matter to me. I'll work on it. Hellsing is really oh, yeah, you borrowed my omnibus. Yes, thank you. I hope you enjoy the long, long limbs everybody has. It's so crazily drawn at first. Used to not like manga until American comics started. Yeah, that's happened to a lot. Got some truck stuff to do. Catch you later. Oh, good to have you, Rob. Thanks so much, man. Yeah, we'll sign it. Hey, that's just what I said. You just copied my own words and used them against me. Very witty. Can you teach me to be a badass? Who is XQC? Is he another streamer? Too much shit on my desk to slam it. I slammed Chad's desk because it's not mine, but... Alrighty, there we go. Nice little signature there. Biggest. Oh, okay. I don't pay attention to this stuff. It's a whole another world for me. But yeah, let's do a quick scan over of the work from tonight. Oh, that's pretty cool looking. So yeah, that's how you do screen tones. That's why you do them. They look pretty cool when they're done. That's how it used to. That's how they used to make all the manga, kids. Did start to teach myself kendo. Oh, cool. Yeah. All right. If we're down to Ghost, I still haven't played Ghost of Tsushima. I'm going to. I'm going to. I promise. I just had other things going on. But thanks everybody for being here tonight. I don't know if I'm going to stream until Saturday again. I might if I have something interesting. Or if I just, maybe I'll just do this when I feel like chatting and have nobody. I'll just be like, hey, pop in, you can chat with me. Maybe I'll start playing like the Toonami music in the background. I'll have to fuck with my levels a little so it's not overwhelming my voice. But I think that'd be a nice vibe. So, and I won't get copyright struck for that because that music's old and weird and nobody cares anymore. So, all right, maybe later this week, but definitely on Saturday, Dave and I will be back. I'll get this scanned in, so if you follow me over on Twitter, twitter.com/Bonitis, @Bonitis, Bonitis, you'll be able to see the results of what we were just doing. All right, bye-bye, everybody.